Stephen, how are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm fine. Actually, probably what I should say is you're right, our kid.
No, I'm all right. Yeah, how are you?
Good. I'm Boston.
Where are you from? Where are you from?
Sellyoak.
Bloody hell. Brilliant.
Small one, because you're Small Heath, aren't you?
No, my parents are Small Heath. I grew up in King's Standing. Same sort of thing, really.
Yeah. Not that far. Not that far. I mean, honestly, the accent sounds so fake when I do it now to my ears because I've lost most of it.
Well, I've been down here. Well, actually, I'm not in London at the moment, but I've been in London for 40 years.
Yeah.
But when I go back, it comes back.
You slide as soon
exactly.
as you come into contact with it, don't you? So. But, you know, the thing is, the first time I ever heard anything about a sort of Brummie mafia was when Peaky Blinders appeared on the TV. I must have had a very sheltered childhood, but where did the original idea come from for you?
My parents told me stories, and uncles and aunties and grandparents told me stories about the Peaky Blinders when I was a kid. And my mom was a bookies runner when she was 9 years old. They used to use kids she used to carry a basket of washing down the road, and people would wrap the name of the horse they were betting on and their code name on a piece of paper, and they'd wrap the bet, like sixpence or whatever, in it, and they'd drop it in the basket. And my mum, a little kid, would be walk down to Tucker Wright, who was the bookmaker, and drop all the bets off. And my dad's uncles were illegal bookmakers called the Sheldons. And they were known as the Peaky Blinders.
Close name.
Exactly.
So you really had to set it in Brum, didn't you?
Oh, God, there was no way. I mean, I remember in the early days, it's like, well, what about Liverpool? What about East Ham? No, it's got to be Brum.
Yeah. So how much are we actually watching people from your childhood in the series?
Charlie Strong was a real person who I knew. He was a gypsy scrap metal dealer in Nechells Green, which you will know well. Aunt Polly was real. She was my dad's aunt. She was a welder and was a tough person. Curly was my great uncle, who I met only once. He was completely bald. That's why he was called Curly.
Got his name, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, a lot of it is rooted in people I've met sort of when I was a little kid, and also just stories I was told.
And the series is nearly 10 years old when it first appeared on TV in 2013. But how long was it actually sort of forming in the back of your mind before that?
I'd always wanted to do it since I was a kid. And when I became a writer, I thought this is really, but it was sort of unlikely possibility because Birmingham, is the most fashionable and all of that. But 25 years ago, I think it was, I pitched it to Channel 4. And it nearly happened, but then didn't. And I'm glad it didn't, because I think the lack of technology in those days means we wouldn't have been able to do justice to Birmingham in the 20s without green screen and all of that stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously it's been sort of on and off part of your life, but when you started work on it, did you ever foresee that it was going to have such longevity, or did you think, oh, maybe a season or two? Or
no, I thought, I was proud of it and pleased with it because I knew it had a reality about it. And I just was sort of wanted to introduce this interesting world to Britain. And I was very thrilled when it became popular here, and then astonished when it became so popular everywhere else. In the US, South America, Russia, China, all those places where people love it. And it's just incredible that people from such different backgrounds with such different lives seem to identify. So
how does it feel to be sort of saying goodbye to the TV series anyway? I know you've got other plans, but just the TV series.
Yeah, I mean, I'm describing it as the end of the beginning, because I think there's a lot more life in this, because it is a world now, and it's the fans who make me want to keep it going, because the things that they do, the artwork, tattoos, the videos that they make, it just makes you feel that there's something really out there. There's a connection with a lot of different people from all over the place. And why would you artificially get rid of it just to be cool?
So there's going to be a film then?
Yes.
Why did you want to sort of finish things with a film? Why not another series on TV?
Well, I'm not saying the film will be finishing it, really. I mean, it's the next thing, and it's the only thing that I know I'm going to do. But after that, you know, 50s are interesting.
So where are you with work on the film? How far ahead are you?
It's in my head. I know what I'm going to do. I know what the story is pretty comprehensively. So it's going to be just a question of writing it and shooting it, really. And I want to shoot it in Birmingham.
Okay, well, that should be interesting.
Yes, it will. Celio will be featured.
Oh yeah, Studentville, which is where I was brought up, down by the university. All the terraced houses, yeah. Please make Celio famous. Just thinking about the new season though of Peaky Blinders. Of course, at the end of season 5, Tommy Shelby's not in the greatest of places, to put it mildly, and he seems to be even worse by the start of this final one, from what I've seen. Is his sort of mental state and his decline going to be much of the focus of this new series, or is it something that's going to carry over into the film?
Well, what I've always wanted to do with Tommy is that he has his mental, but rather he has his trauma from the First World War, and yet he goes from strength to strength on the outside. You know, he gets more and more rich, more and more powerful. He's now got political power. So on the outside, here is a man on a fantastic upward trajectory. But what I'm interested in is that on the inside, it's the opposite. And just watching how those two things affect each other.
Yeah. So perhaps we shouldn't believe him when he says that he's a calmer and more peaceful person now. He's giving up drinking.
No. Definitely not.
Definitely not. Even though his voice was so even and so steady. Having seen the trailer, of course, in this season, you've got Stephen Graham. How does he fit into things?
I can't tell you. I can't tell you. Okay. The only thing I can tell you is that the character he plays has his real accent.
I was going to ask that. God, I bet he's relieved, actually.
Yes, exactly. We did talk about it. It's like, at least that's one thing you don't have to worry about.
How difficult was it to get him, though? Because he's in so much demand at the moment, and has been for years, actually.
But he's a big fan, so that always helps. So usually the people we get as a consequence of them wanting to do it. It's certainly not the money, because they don't get paid a lot to be in Peaky. So it is for the love, which is great.
Which is great. And still on the subject of accents, now you and I would know what a proper Brummie accent sounds like.
Yes.
But actually, it's a really hard accent to do if it's not your native accent. It can sound like a parody.
I know.
So I wondered how the cast went about getting the accent and getting it right.
Well, at the beginning, it was like the big issue was the accents, and you know who's doing the accent and all that. And I remember at the beginning there was a lot of talk about voice coaches and everybody's got to do the accent and get it right. I just can't see how an actor who is worrying about the accent can act. And so I said, let's forget that. Let's just do it, and see how it goes. And, you know, Cillian's absolutely wonderful. And it was, in the end, it's a question of attitude. It's like, just go at it, just go it and do it. And then the accent will come. I think if you stop and think, well, I should be saying that, you know, that vowel should be like that. What are you doing? You know, you're pulling the thing apart. There's no point. So, and I think now it's no longer an issue.
Yeah, I mean, it would definitely show in the performance, because you'd be concentrating on the wrong thing, essentially.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So, the first episode of this season, of course, is dedicated to Helen McCrory, who was such an extraordinary actor, and losing her must have been such a blow for the whole cast and crew.
Yeah.
I wondered how much the spirit of her character sort of still lingers over this final season.
Absolutely. I mean, the loss of the human being Helen was the tragedy. The loss of the character is just something, you know, we had to deal with, and hopefully we did it appropriately. But like in real life, when you have someone in your family who is that powerful and that strong, even after they pass, they carry on. You know, their influence carries on. And as long as people who knew them are alive, they're sort of still there. And that's what I wanted to reflect on.
Yeah. Now, you hardly ever seem to stop working, as far as I can tell. And your most recent film, Spencer, of course, opened to so much critical acclaim. And I saw it at the London Film Festival, and I thought it was absolutely brilliant. So I wondered how you felt about Kristen Stewart getting so many awards, so many nominations. Of course, now she's up for an Oscar as well.
I know, she's brilliant. I mean, she's great. She's a great person. She performed the role so beautifully. You know, it's like working with Cillian or with any great actor. You know, you write your stuff and then they make it live. You know, and she was brilliant. So I really want to work with her again.
That would be wonderful. And you're right. I mean, she's absolutely fantastic in the film. Just looking forward, I've read that this particular season of Peaky Blinders is going to end just as World War II starts. Is that about right?
I shouldn't rule anything out. No, it's not. It's not. Okay. Because the sort of the conclusion will happen in the film of this chapter.
Because I was just thinking, in terms of moving forward into the film, that World War II would be such a wonderful setting for them, because they'd have a whale of a time with the black market going on.
I'm ahead of you, absolutely. The film is all that. It's you know, Peaky with bombs.
Can I come and write for you?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, yeah. The Untitled Chapter.
Yeah. Oh, totally. So, and aside from the Peaky Blinders movie, I believe you're going to be making a mini-series with Mark Ruffalo.
Yes, that's been announced, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's an adaptation of a fantastic Pulitzer Prize-winning novel called All the Light We Cannot See, which also set in the Second World War, but in France and Germany.
Right.
And it's got an incredible cast, and I can't wait for it they start shooting, I think, middle of March. Okay,
so it's not far off then?
No, it's all done. It's ready to go. Done my bit.
Your bit.
Yes, exactly.
Don't underestimate yourself. Stephen, it's been lovely to talk to you. I really appreciate your time. And I guess I should say ta-ra a bit.
Ta-ra, see you.
Ta-ra.
Ta-ra.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey You Guys!